Hi Leo, I'm going to be doing a self-love tarot spread. These are general messages, so if it doesn't resonate with you this week, come back next week and maybe I can help you then. These are self-love tarot messages, and they're designed for spirit to showcase areas where we might be letting ourselves down or not living our most authentic life. The purpose is so that we can build our self-love. I do a 6-card spread, and then the 7th card that I do is usually spirit message. So I shuffled a little bit before we started, and we'll give it like 1 or 2 more. I think I said it, I'd do a 6-card spread. So let's get started. In the first position, it's going to be how you feel about yourself, Leo. In the second position, it's something that Spirit is telling you need to focus on or prioritize more of. In the third position is going to be an area where we might consciously or subconsciously be letting ourselves down, and Spirit wants us to acknowledge that. In the fourth position, we have an area of yourself that Spirit wants you to showcase more often, just to be as more or as much of yourself as you can. We want to be authentic. Self-love is all about self-acceptance, accepting yourself, and you can't accept parts of yourself that you're not willing to show other people. That makes sense. The more sides of ourselves that we're willing to showcase, the more of who we are can actually come through. Self-love is being authentic with yourself. In the 5th position, this is going to be something you need to let go of, fairly standard stuff. In the 6th position is something you need to acknowledge. Maybe Spirit says you don't know or you're not aware. In the 7th position, like I said, is going to be the Spirit message. I will clarify with the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck later on, but right now, let's get started. In your Leo, sorry. This is better because Leo last week didn't have this, so I'm super excited. In your how you feel position, Leo, you have the 9 of Cups. We call her happiness. Look at her just skipping around, hopping through that water. Water in tarot is associated with emotions. So you are just happy and just skipping around all these emotions. Look at those cups. The 9 of Cups is not the 10 of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment. But this is like you have every single thing else you could possibly need. And now you're just looking for that last cup, which could be another person, it could be a career, it could be anything, whatever you feel like you need. But right now, you're right there. You're right there, Leo. I love that. I love that. I also love, and just like, the first card come up has like the moon in it, and like I'm Pisces, and so like, that's kind of like me. But you're Leo, the sun, so I just thought that was interesting. Sorry, that's the cat. Zuko! You can't tell him anything, he's a cat. What are you gonna tell him? What the universe, what Spirit is telling you right now that you need to prioritize? Oh, that's interesting. Sorry. Now they're all just up and running around. The priority, what do you need to prioritize, is this 4 of Cups. And it says luxury. It says luxury. But I don't really get luxury from this because if you look at her, she doesn't look luxurious. So the thing that I love about this card, and the thing that would push this more into the message that we're going for, you see this 4 of Cups, right? You see how here she's sitting, and then the cup is up there, and she hasn't noticed it, right? We'll look a little bit farther, deeper, look deeper. If you see the reflection in the water here, this is her being in tune with her emotions. But something is missing. The reflection doesn't go all the way up. In fact, it only stops right above the cups at her shoulders. It doesn't show her face or the cup up top. This, to me, while it says luxury, and while this lotus often represents purity, and while the full moon represents like coming out of illusions, or like being able to see things more clearly. The Four of Cups to me indicates someone who is not fully integrated with themselves. And that's fair. Oh my God, who's fully integrated? Maybe Gandhi, but he died, so you can't tell us about it. I don't know what that's about. But if you look, her reflection isn't finished. In fact, the only reflection finished in this whole deck is the Queen of Cups. And do you know why? I bet you think about it. I mean, okay. Leo. The Queen of Cups is integrated because she is someone who has gone within and has really found and nurtured that feminine energy of figuring out what it is that she wants. She's dealt with her shadow self as well, and so she's fully integrated into her reflection. But here this Four of Cups tells me that there's something else that you need, which, going back to how you feel right now, you have that Nine of Cups, right? So there's something that you don't have, but you're in a much better place than last week. I'm loving this energy for you. Or if this is like a new person, I'm really glad, and I hope it's because you took those. That's advice that I gave you. I don't know. So we see somebody who is missing one cup to have the 10, and then that fourth cup is just kind of dangling up there. So let's see if Spirit will tell us what that fourth cup is, or what that extra thing you need is. Oh, wow, this is just a very interesting reading, Leo, because in the area that you need to prioritize, or in an area where you might feel either consciously or subconsciously you're letting yourself down, we have the Moon. That's interesting. You have 3 moons here, Pisces. The Moon to me always makes me think of secrets. Leo, now I'm getting a little bit nervous because last week we were talking about integrating how you felt, right? Like if there's something that's bothering you, you should talk about it. But here it's saying that you're happy, but you're missing that one cup and that other cup. And now I'm worried because, wow, the Moon does signify beauty and depth and transition. I know that most people don't think about that, but if you think about the Moon, affects the tides, right? And the tides affect almost everything else. So it's also about that transition, that cooperation, that push and that pull. But it concerns me because it's also about secrets, right? When the Moon is out, not everything is illuminated the way that it should be. In fact, in the moonlight, lots of things can look like they don't really look. For example, a Leo who's very in their head and kind of sad, pretending that they're happy, in the moonlight might just look like a happy person. I'm not telling you how to live your life, although you did come here for me to tell you how to live your life. It's so funny, isn't it? Okay, so we're gonna keep going, but I do have some serious suspicions, Leo, that you have not dealt with whatever that feeling of defeat was last week, but you're pretending that you are. Okay, let's look at what Spirit wants us to acknowledge to act as our most authentic self. I've never even gotten this in a spread so far. This, my dear Leo, is the Chariot. I'm not upset. I'm not disappointed. But I feel like if this is a message that's coming up again, it also requires clarity. But if this is a message coming up in a different way, maybe it requires clarity in a different way. And that's fine, right? I had this job one time and one of my bosses told me, like, if you worked at a kiosk at a mall, right, like one of those information kiosks, every single day, 1,000 times a day, somebody would come up to you and ask you, where's the bathroom? Probably not the same person. But 1,000 times a day. Now, the problem with that is after answering that question so many times, it becomes repetitive and you get irritated with asking the question. But it's always a different person asking the question. So while you have been asked 1,000,001 times, that's probably the first time this person has asked. You can't have attitude. If this is something you're learning, Leo, I will sit here and we will go over this as many ways as we have to, okay? But the Chariot indicates to me this push and this pull, right? Like we talked about with the moon. But look at the Chariot is pulled by two bulls. And if you can see them, one is black and one is white. This indicates usually to me a sense of duality, right? Right and wrong, good with the bad, light and the dark. The only thing is that these bulls, okay, so in the traditional tarot deck, your Chariot doesn't have wheels. It's only pulled by those Sphinx. And the Sphinx basically use their brain to move the Chariot. But you, whoever is driving the Chariot, would use your brain to control those Sphinx. And the Sphinx want to go off and do different things. Here we see that with the bull. And I guess, yeah, no, those two bulls, right? So one of them is actually trying. He's trying, this little white one. He wants to go. But this black one in the back is saying, no, my way or the highway. Now, these two competing bulls pulling your Chariot, this is how you are viewing yourself. I don't know if you know what the word, or I don't know if you know what the concept cognitive dissonance means, but it's basically where our brain accepts what we believe as reality, or what we see. So if I tell myself, oh, I don't look good in purple, oh, I don't look good in purple, even though we all know that I look good in purple now, right? I don't look good in purple, I don't look good in purple. Then your brain is always going to say, okay, well, you don't look good in purple. And then even if you wear purple, your brain's going to be like, no, I don't like that, it's purple. I'm always going to gravitate away from it. Now, cognitive dissonance is the day that you put on something purple and you go, oh, but wait, that looks good. And your brain is telling you, no, it can't look good because we've always said it looked bad. But here you are firmly seeing something different than what you believe. And your brain has a hard time marrying those two ideas. That was an analogy with clothes. Let's use an analogy with this. If something is bothering you, Leo, and your brain goes, oh, it's bothering me, oh, it's bothering me, oh, it's bothering me. But then you go, shut up, I don't care. I don't care. It's bothering me, I don't care. It's bothering me, I don't care. It's bothering me, I don't care. You're going to very quickly start to be pulled in two different directions. These are the long-lasting, long-term consequences, side effects. These are the negative aspects of not being authentic with yourself. It's kind of what happens. We literally can turn into people we don't recognize based on our decisions and our beliefs. I believe, Leo, that as great it is that you are being happy right now, I think you're being fake happy, like a fake deep. I'm a Pisces, that upsets me. I want you to be happy and feel good and feel loved for real. Okay? So whatever this is that's bothering you, this sense of defeat, this thing that you're not integrating, we're going to have to work on that because, and here's the because you're never going to get anywhere, Leo. You're never going to get anywhere with these two competing ideas trying to move you forward. Let's say, okay, I'm the Chariot driver, mush. Or whatever you tell cows, mush. And then my white cow goes, okay, I'm okay. We're going to go this way. And my black cow goes, I'm not okay, I'm very upset. And he tries to go this way. Which way are we going to go? We're not going to go anywhere. I'm just thinking about Leo. You know, I'm just thinking about the sun and like the energy. I know we've talked about that. But like energy and sunlight, which is kind of the same thing, all move on wavelengths, right? They're all moving forward in like these rolling waves. It's beautiful. But that energy has to go somewhere. Like there's always energy going. And Leo, right now, I feel very like you're not going. I feel very stagnant energy. I feel like even though this happiness card came out here in your first position, I don't really feel like you're that happy. I feel like you're more this lady in this Four of Cups. Look at her. I wouldn't say she looks defeated. I wouldn't even say she looks unhappy. She literally just looks tired. Okay, back to that Chariot and that bull's pulling on both sides cart, it's not a cart. It's you. You know? So like a cart could just sit there and like take it, right? A cart would be like nothing because a cart doesn't have any emotions or feelings and it can't talk. But for one person to be pulled in two different directions, I would feel like you'd be tired. And also tired of not getting anywhere. But let's move along. In this position, in the fifth position, is something you need to let go of. This Princess of Cups. The Princess is like the Page, and Cups is about emotions, and there are emotions that you want to share. It could be emotions about feeling sad, or neglected, or bad, or defeated, or all kinds of feelings. You could be angry even. But she's bringing this turtle, okay? I don't know if you can see the little turtle on the plate. But she's taking him somewhere. And the dolphin is trying to help. The dolphin is intelligence, it's wisdom, right? How smart is a dolphin? Smarter than we are. And the turtle is about wisdom too. And the turtle is about longevity, right? So this message is something that's going to affect you for a very long time, or these feelings. And something that you need to let go of are these feelings, or information about these feelings. So what I get from this is that you're hiding feelings because 1, 2, 3 cards are cups. Plus you got the moon, which is all about intuition and like, you know, insides. So you're hiding feelings. And the universe is telling you to let them go. Whatever it is you're feeling or whatever it is you're not showing, you need to A, deal with it, or B, let it go. And now here's the crux, the catch, the gimmick, if you will. You can't let those feelings go until you deal with them. I'm sorry. I know other signs don't like emotions as much as I do. But the thing is, I can just move through them. I can be mad 20 minutes ago and be totally fine now because I just let it cycle through. I'm not trying to be toxic or crazy or positive or toxic positivity or whatever. But I really do just let myself feel the way that I'm supposed to feel. So like if I get mad about something, I'm like, and then I'm done. I don't have to stay mad because I already let it go. If I'm sad about something, I can cry. And I will cry for a while. But then I'm just like, oh, I'm fine now. I cry. I feel better. Don't you? No, you didn't cry? That's wild. If I'm happy, I laugh. If I'm tired, I sleep. If I'm hungry, I eat. In this sixth position, something you need to acknowledge, Leo, is the Ace of Swords. This looks really good to me. This makes me really happy because this is kind of like what you need. This is really what you need. It's this kind of clarity, this understanding. The universe is going to bring something to you, forward for you. And I really do hope that this idea that's coming through the crown chakra, your sacral chakra, your brain, is going to give you ideas or better understanding of these feelings. You don't want to leave them inside. Anything you left inside too long is going to get rotten and toxic. Okay, let's see a message from Spirit. Remember, it's not me calling you out. I just read the cards, okay? This isn't me. This is literally the position of message from Spirit. Look at that, more cups energy, 8 of cups, and it's indolence. Now, I thought this was idolence, which is like being idle, which is like being lazy. But indolence, apparently, is the lack of desire to do something, to deal with something. Whatever this 8 of Cups is for you, Leo, honestly, whatever it is you're not dealing with it, and Spirit knows you're not dealing with it, and Spirit is calling you lazy. look, I would love to help as much as I can. If you want to email me, my email address is in the box below. We can just talk about whatever's bothering you, or like whatever habits you have to rebuild, or whatever sense of self is leading you to believe that you don't have to acknowledge this stuff. We can talk about this. I'd love to help. I'm super helpful. This is the kind of stuff that I just enjoy. Let's go ahead and clarify. Okay, so we said you're happy right now, and I really hope that's true, and I really hope that, like, you're not just lying. Okay. Divine timing. So, maybe even though right now I'm sort of throwing shade, like, maybe this is just something because of that Ace of Swords, or this just is an energy that you're in right now. Maybe this is what you're working on. Maybe you have a lot of sexual energy. I'm not really sure. Maybe that's where that happiness is coming from. Maybe you're pretend happy. Maybe we are trading pleasure for happiness. But I would think you would say pleasure. Okay, and something you need to prioritize is this cup you're not paying attention to. This other emotion, right? It's trying to get out. Just embrace it. Just embrace it. Whatever you're feeling is part of you. It's not like somebody else. It's not like me, which I'm totally doing right now. Sitting here and telling you, Leo, feel, Leo, feel. It's not something else outside of you. This is how you feel, and it's coming from inside of you. So it's okay. It's all good. It's just part of you trying to get out. Ancient wisdom. When I think about ancient wisdom and I see this card and it looks like trees, I always 100% think about how a tree doesn't change. I mean, like, it does, right? Because it grows, but it's always the same tree. It always looks the same. But it always tries to adapt to its environment. So let's say you have an elm tree, right? I don't even know what that would look like, but let's say you have an elm tree. You put it outside in an area where it's super, super windy. Now, maybe elm trees are usually straight, but an elm tree, still an elm tree, is going to bend to adapt to its environment and situation, right? Okay. So I always think of trees as something that is what it is. A tree cannot change. You could paint it green, it would still be the same tree. You could pick it up and move it somewhere else, it would still be the same tree. In the same way, we are ourselves. We can change. I can cut my hair. I can start going to church. I can learn new ways of coping and stuff, but I'm still going to be myself. And so I feel like with this card, what the universe is telling you is even if you accept other aspects of yourself, you will still be yourself. Even if on your little lotus, you reach up and you grab that fourth cup and you say, I am Leo and I have emotions. Oh, you're still Leo. If anything, now you have one more thing. And I know that Leos like stuff. I know you like stuff. So now you just have one more stuff. Like, oh, I'm so cool and I'm so fiery and I'm so Leo and I have all of these awesome attributes. And oh, by the way, I get sad sometimes too. Ooh, now you just look real well-rounded Leo. Put that on your application or your resume when you go to date people. I have sadness. Letting go. Yeah, so this comes over that moon, okay? And with the moon, there's that illusion. There's something there that's being hidden. And it says, let it go. And again, we have this sense of duality from the black and the white bird, just like your black and your white bull. Discernment. Discernment is an amazing lesson for everybody to learn, but I think in this particular position, this is discernment with yourself. This is acknowledging who you are and knowing you won't change just because you let more sides of yourself out. Duality. Discernment. I love that. I'm so, like, I'm not concerned, Leo. I'm really not, because divine timing and, like, these are the things that we go through. I just want to make sure that you're understanding the message. That's all. I just want to make sure there's clarity, because that's what the whole point is, and because that's what's in your acknowledgement position. The Chariot. Yeah, I think you're going to have to get creative. I don't know, Leo, if you're in touch with your creative side, but I think that you're gonna have to look at things in a different way. That's what probably the creative means. Because right now, okay, so say you're like, you know, my age, you're like in your 30s. If this is like something that you've learned growing up, if this is the way that you've been for 30 and something years, nothing is gonna happen overnight. And even if you watch these and you're like, self-love shaman, I'm so sorry to make you disappointed, but I don't know how to deal with my emotions, baby, it's okay. It's okay. We're all getting there. That's what these are for. But if this is something you've been doing for the last 30 years, you're gonna have to get creative with your ideas about how to move away from that. Maybe you have to seek out a shaman. Maybe you have to seek out a therapist. Maybe you just need to talk to your mom and be like, hey mom, why am I like this? And she'll be like, you know, I don't know. You just stopped crying at a really early age, but I love you. And then you're like, you still love me even if I have emotions, mom? And then your mom's like, of course I love you. And then you guys hug and that helps you feel better. Whatever it is, whatever this is, it's requiring creativity to reset habits that we've grown accustomed to. These habits are about how we give ourselves away daily. Self-love is about changing those habits to give back to ourselves. Creativity. It's going to take creativity. And integration. Oh, beautiful. Because that's that luxury card. That's that 4 of Cups. That's an integration. Something you need to let go of is the idea that we said the Princess of Cups, right? We said the Princess of Cups was her bringing these messages, bringing this news. But we're saying you need to let go of that. You need to let go of those emotions. You need to again, I'm not really sure what it is you're trying to integrate, but you have to let go of it. You have 2 choices, right? We said to deal with it or let it go. But really, they're both the same thing. So you have to let go of these emotions. The ones that you're holding back. Let them out. It's gonna be a struggle. Yeah, it's a struggle. Look at that poor little fish. Like I said, it's not gonna be easy, but it is a transformation. This is an opportunity for you to level up. It really is. Let's see, self-love. Okay, so people always think about self-love as like, oh, self-care Sunday. I'm gonna take a bath bomb into the bathroom with me. That's great. That is, because you should take care of yourself. And like if your body is telling you, hey, like a bubble bath would be really good right now, then listen to your body and take a bubble bath. But that is not what self-love is about. That's self-care, which is also important. But self-love is really about transforming. It's about reaching that next level, that next plateau. Doing things for yourself, like I said, because we find ways to let ourselves down as we grow up, and then as we get to this age and we're learning about self-love, we have to fix those patterns that we, consciously or subconsciously give power and our energy away. Now we're gonna bring that in, and this transformation is gonna help you. So this just right here, accepting your feelings and letting them out, is that next step for you. I really like that. Acknowledgement. Ideas are coming, okay? There are ideas coming. It's based on your perception, Leo. Again, we see this, the yin yang, the duality, right? The light is the good, but this little black dot, that's the bad in the good. And the black is the bad, but that little white dot is the good in the bad. We always have to accept both good and bad aspects of ourselves. If you think emotions are bad, that's your perception. I highly encourage you to watch Inside Out. I highly encourage it. I know it's a child's movie, but it makes a great point that we all have these emotions and they work for us. I bet you didn't realize that part, right? They work inside of us. That's their job. Right? The little green one, the little blue one. The blue one is sad all the time. It's her job to be sad. That's literally what she's there for. And the little green one's like, no, don't be sad. No, don't do your job. No. Okay, well, that was integration. I think her name's Riley, something like that. But the little girl, she was sad about moving. But then she was like, no, I'm gonna be a big girl, I'm not gonna cry. And then she was just sad the whole freaking time. Bet you if she'd cried that first day, she probably would have gotten over with a lot sooner. Integration. Accepting the good with the bad. If you think that parts of your emotions are bad, those are just parts of you and you have to accept those too. It's your perception. Oh my God, Leo. Okay? Emotions are not a burden. I'm really sorry if you have a Pisces in your life and then like they always cry or whine or get mad or whatever. They just feel things. Because you're probably just sitting there going like, oh my God, you're so dramatic. When really I'm just feeling. I'm just feeling my life. I'm just living. Okay? It's not a burden. In fact, my emotions are my superpower. Because look, I have so much emotional understanding. My emotional tolerance is very high. My ability to like transfigure emotions is also really high. And now I can sit here and help other people who might not understand ways that their emotions need to be integrated. That's my superpower. What's yours, Leo? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, we said that this is the indolence, right? It's your unwillingness to do something. There's something here that needs to be dealt with, and you're unwilling to do it. That came up in your spirit message. I didn't say that. But what came up for the clarity for that was truth. Because spirit knows, and you both know, this is truth. You're just not dealing with it. But you should. Because there are unlimited possibilities. Once we've put, again, whatever it is that you're dealing with, whenever we have finally dealt with this, the next thing that comes up like this is going to be so much more easy. And the next thing after that, and the next thing after that, and who knows, 20 more things, Leo, you might be sitting here giving out free tarot messages like I am. Overall, what I get here is this sense that there, like we said last week, there was something that happened. It could have been a good thing, honest to goodness. It could have been a good thing. You're in a happy mood. Could have been a bad thing. Could have been an okay thing. Could have been anything. Any kind of situation occurred and it made you feel some type of way. But instead of letting those feelings out, we've buried them deep, deep down inside. And we're putting on a happy face, but we're not feeling that. Your head and your heart, or your head and your emotions, are on two different pages. And they're trying to drive you in two different directions. And spirit is acknowledging. It's telling you that you need to acknowledge that whatever this feeling is, you have to deal with it or let it go. But right now you're not. Spirit clearly says right now you're not dealing with it. But the divine timing and ideas are coming. So I guess the message to take away, Leo, would be to integrate all these parts of yourself. Because again, they are just parts of you. I really hope this helped, Leo. And if it doesn't, or if you need anything else, my email box or email address is in the box below. Okay? Have a good day.